Bulova as well.
Beautiful.
So about 10 years old. My mom got it for me for turn 18, becoming a man.
Nice.
True story.
Nice.
It actually sat in the closet for about 10 years. I pulled it out when I was doing some cleaning, listened to a bunch of stuff on Facebook Marketplace and said, wow, this is nice. Maybe I'll sell it for $10. She's like, I paid $700 for that thing.
Whoa. Yeah. The whole watch thing. I still remember my first watch. It was the Kermit the Frog watch, and I still have it. It's a little beat up, but I came into watch. What I like about watches is that they could become heirlooms very quickly because they're so easy to keep, and they're really easy to keep in good shape, and they may not appreciate in value as much as you would with a different kind of investment, but it's generational. And I had a couple watches that were earmarked for my kids, and we just gave them to them recently, my 13 and my 10-year-old, and they were just like, Dad, this is Dad's watch. I get Dad's watch. It's like, that's your watch now. Like, you get to keep that. And one of them was a Swiss Army, and another one was a Nixon, and they love them. And it's so simple, but it's so lasting. And now I've passed that on to them, and hopefully they will be able to do the same thing for their kids. So it becomes an heirloom very quickly and very generational very quickly. And I like that.
Well, I think you stand out so much too, because everybody's wearing Apple watches. So when you wear an actual watch, it's like, wow, that's a real watch. You don't see it anymore.
My good friend Dr. Hildebrand actually moved over from the Apple Watch to a Android, and he's like, oh, listen, I know you've had your hangups about smartwatches. He goes, but I'm going to gift you mine. I want you to try it. And so I said, here's my biggest fear about putting on a smartwatch. And my prediction was true. I said, because that thing is so intuitive and it connects to my phone and it's so awesome that I'm not going to wear all these other amazing watches that I've had for years that I love so much unless I'm going out for dinner or it matches nicely with whatever outfit I'm wearing. And sure enough, what was I wearing more often than not? That smartwatch, because it was tracking my heart rate. It was tracking my steps. It was tracking all the things. I was able to answer text messages rather quickly, and it became very convenient. And so I finally handed it over to my wife, and I'm like, you take this now. This is your burden. I'm going back to wearing my old timepieces, which I much prefer.
There was a girl I dated. She had an Apple Watch. This is like the number one reason why I try to be aware of like chicks wearing Apple Watches. She would always have her watch on. She'd always be tracking her steps. Always be telling me, oh, I'm competing with so-and-so to jump up and down as many times as I can today. And I remember she dropped her watch one time, shattered the screen. Yeah. She couldn't use it anymore. And then she tried bringing it in the shower because it was kind of still working, but then it was really fried after that. And I remember she came home one day and she's like, I hate that fat bitch, Amy. I'm like, whoa, like your friend, Amy? What? Yeah, I hate her. She closed out her ring. She texts me, oh, not exercising today? I hate her. And I thought, run, Spot, run.
Right. Well, it's funny, not too different from that story. I remember one time I went out for a very lengthy walk with the dog. And when I got back, I was like, oh, I didn't wear my watch. It's not going to track my steps. And then at that moment, I realized, am I doing it for the watch or am I doing it for me? Like, that I go out for the walk because it was good for me and it was good for my mental health and it was good for the dog and it was everything I wanted to do. Was I doing it for that reason or was I doing it to make my watch happy?
Well, before Apple Watches, nobody gave a shit about how many steps you had in the day. If I did 10,000, 5,000, nobody knew. But now all of a sudden it's this achievement of, oh, I did 8,500 steps. I did 8,700. Just go to the gym and drink some water.
Well, look, I say that for some people that can be a really good motivation to bring competition into it, to compete with your friends who has more steps. If it gets you into doing more activity, great. I think that's awesome. And I think that's a perfect example of why more people need a little bit of competition in their life. They need a benchmark. They need a milestone. They need something to achieve. You're welcome for enjoying this clip. And you're welcome to click on more of them right here. There's lots of content available, new podcast every Sunday. Sign up for the Patreon page as well, because that gets you what? Perks. That's it.